One of the worst things a man can be when it comes to relationships is anxiously attached. There are quite literally no upsides to it. And until you rectify the situation, it is likely that none of your romantic options are going to play out over the long term. Let me explain. And the reason why this is so bad for men is because being anxiously attached, orienting yourself that way to a romantic connection, is a complete contradiction to your masculinity. Historically, anxious attachment was more so associated with women, whereas avoidant attachment was more associated with men. Which is partially the reason why avoidantly attached men don't struggle as much with women. Don't misunderstand me, they still do struggle, but the clients I get who are anxiously attached have way more problems with women than the clients I get who are avoidantly attached. And one of the main reasons for this is a man who is avoidantly attached is expressing behaviors that society tends to deem as more masculine. It's not the healthiest masculine expression. It's not the ideal situation, but it is better in terms of masculinity than anxious attachment. Anxious attachment is viewed as more feminine. Anxiously attached men are always checking in. They want to make sure the connection is still in good standing. They want to spend all their time with you, pretty much be up their woman's ass 24/7 just to make sure the connection is still present, right? These are traits and behaviors that we have historically associated with women. Women are the ones who want to maintain the health of the relationship. They want to maintain the emotional connection, right? This is something we typically associate with women. So a man showing up in that way is felt as weak, as needy, and it is a absolute turnoff for the opposite sex. Now, obviously, healthy masculine men do check the temperature of the relationship, do value the quality of the relationship. It's just with the anxious attachment, it's coming from a place of fear, right? They're constantly afraid that they're losing somebody, that they will be abandoned. So the heart posture of it is what is really off-putting, and it's also a matter of degree. They kind of are always at the end of the spectrum and are giving too much energy to the connection, more than it really requires. However, if you take an anxious man and you make him more grounded and you build out his life so that he's less needy and you preserve that relational capacity that he has, he typically will greatly outperform the avoidant men who historically have dwarfed his success. So if you're anxiously attached, what do? But one thing you can do, a band-aid solution, I've said this before, whenever you feel that anxiety, never take an action while you feel that. View it as possession. When you feel anxious, you are possessed. And the demon is trying to get you to do something that is going to ruin the relationship, right? So never communicate or take an action when you feel that anxiety because you are possessed. But that's a band-aid solution. That's not going to really help you over the long term. That's something that you can apply in like the dating phase that will help you prevent you from blowing things up too soon. But eventually, that possession will be effective. So if you want a more permanent solution, get coaching. I have a 1-hour coaching call. The link for it is in my bio. I have a video for you to watch before you book your call. So watch that, and I will see you on the other side.